Well, hello girls and boys again. Not a bad day today. Raining earlier. Welcome. Anyone who wants to watch my inane babbling. I had an amusing thought some time back. I was watching an old documentary on television about foot and mouth. Now I'm going back to the plague in the 60s. So I'm going back a bit, and so I was trying to decide which way I was going to go here, and I was still learning, but I used to travel a lot on the back of my brother's bike, and his bike was in the garage in Oxford being repaired. He had an aerial. And they'd lent him a brand new bike. Dear oh dear, I'm shaking because she sat at the traffic lights in Whittam, and we had to toot to get her to move. I don't think she's quite with it. Anyway, they lent him a brand new bike, a Suzuki B100P, or as they were affectionately known, bloops. He was not impressed. Decent bit of English metal to this little bit of jack crap. He was not impressed. But anyway, I got on the back for a laugh, and we're trundling around the old lanes, hither and thither, all around Oxfordshire. And all of a sudden he's nudged me in the ribs and he's pointed over to the right. And there's a big fire and there's carcasses and black. It was horrible. It was horrible to see, really. It wasn't, you know, it's close enough to see all the slaughtered animals. Next thing I remember is watching a train rush by my face. We'd both been staring intently while we were going up this rise with a gentle curve. Now the gentle curve was over a railway bridge. And of course, God dear, there's some drivers out here today. It was over a railway bridge, and he hadn't been watching, looked round at the very last second, realised, slapped his brakes on, whole load of gravel shingle, dead straight line into the wall. We'd both been rocketed over the wall, and rolled down the embankment just as the train was parked. Now this train was a steam train, so there was a lot of noise, there was a lot of soot, there was a lot of steam, a lot of chaos. And to go over a wall and roll down an embankment, and it was horrendous. So we're laying at the bottom of this embankment, sort of, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You all right? Yeah. And then obviously the second, you know, you stupid bee and all that, and having to go at each other, and we're both pretty cut and bruised, but nothing serious. My jacket, which wasn't a leather one, was torn to shreds through some hawthorns. I had scratches up my face. I will try and find, I've got a photograph somewhere and I'll try and find it, but I think it may be stored at a friend's house in Jersey. Anyway, this bank was quite steep, probably the height of a house. So we're scrabbling back up this bank. Look, your bike's gone. Don't you fucking dare. She was going to. The bike had gone. We're looking around and it was nowhere to be found. So, old farmer happened along. We flagged him down. We've explained the situation. And he said, well, I did see an old gypsy boy with one on the back of his pickup truck going down towards town. Oh, you're joking. I'll give you a lift to the police if you want. Anyway, Got in his Land Rover, I sat in the back, Dave sat in the front. He dropped us off at the local police station, reported what had happened. They did find it. Because of the description, they did find it. They found him. He got probation for theft, stealing by finding, and knowing that it couldn't have been an abandoned because it was brand new. The insurance covered part of the costs, but David ended up with a massive bill. They'd only insured him third-party fire and theft. Now, back in the 60s and 70s, the average insurance was third-party because it was so cheap, it was pennies. Nobody in those days went fully comprehensive unless you were posh, you know, you were wealthy and had a Jag or something. The average man in the street, third party, that was enough, road legal. If you were working and you were a bit posher, you know, pucker teddy boy with a nice new Triumph, you went third party fire and theft. Of course, over the centuries, all the insurances have amalgamated, so it's just as cheap to have fully comp. But in those days, it was a massive saving. So be warned, choose your insurance carefully. And if you're doing sightseeing, pick your moment. With that, I'm going to say, see you later. Nice road, nice weather. Bye-bye.